Welcome back to the broadcast. Well, we know Drew Brees continues to find success on the football field, but his playbook these days also includes helping cancer patients and also stepping up to his other full-time job as a husband and as a dad. He's joining us now to talk about how he balances all of this. Good morning, Drew. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you?
We are doing so well. Now, football season has come to an end temporarily, but tell us kind of what you're doing during the off season.
The off-season stays extremely busy. It's always, my wife calls it the reintroductory phase into society, right when the season ends, and then I'm back in the house, full time. It's really, a time to get away from football, to decompress, but most importantly, to spend time with my wife, Brittany, and our 3 little boys. And actually, my wife is 6 months pregnant right now with our 4th child, and this one's going to be a little girl due in August. So we have our work cut out for us right now in preparations for the little girl, since all we've known for the last 5 years has just been little boys. But man, it is the greatest thing in the world. One of the biggest challenges, and yet one of the most rewarding things as well. February and March were really our times to spend a lot of time together before we started up in April. And you know what? It's pretty. Believe it or not, I live a pretty regular life around the house. I'm responsible for taking the trash out and cooking meals every now and then, and cleaning up Legos and going down and doing the laundry. I'm kind of the laundry guy around the house. I'm washing the workout clothes and the hot yoga pants, and then the kids clothes with paint and mustard and tomato sauce and stuff all over them. And thank goodness for the Tide Plus collection. I know exactly which detergent to use and when, and separating the white from the darks.
You're like
and
a jack
the colors.
of all trades.
I mean, listen. I've got.
Do you have a brother?
I'm trying to earn all these brownie points right now for when I have to go off to camp, and my wife is like 8.5 months pregnant, having to raise 3 little boys.
And I bet you will hear about that.
Yeah, no doubt.
Now, with the kids being out of school for the summer, what do y'all have on the agenda? You talk about really wanting to have some good quality time with the kiddos and kind of stepping into that full-time role right now to be a dad. What's on y'all's agenda for the summer?
You know what? Honestly, just trying to get as much time as we can together. The kids are, in swim lessons, and they've got a little sports camp, and they've got some of those other things going on. They're only 5, 3, and 1, so we're still in the throes of, those ages where it's really, they just love to play. They love to play and they love to make a mess. So in a lot of cases, I'm just, I'm on the floor with them. I'm, getting down and dirty. We're wrestling. We're building, all kinds of crazy stuff out of Legos. We're, painting and getting it all over ourselves. We're, just whatever they want to do, I'm down for, because it's all about them. It's all about their time, especially this time of year.
Right. Now, Drew, I know you're such a great role model, not only for young kiddos, but for young fathers as well, who are kind of trying to maybe become a little bit more used to their role as a father and as a husband and helping out around the house. What advice do you have for young dads out there that are trying to, do their role and being the breadwinner, but also want to come home and help out with the family? Yeah.
Well, the first thing is, and this is something my wife has helped me with, is that, when you come home, don't bring work home with you. Because your kids, when you walk in the door, I mean, there's no greater feeling than your kids yelling, "Daddy," and coming up and giving you a hug. And you want to make sure that your attention and focus is all on them. And so there's times where I think my wife sees it where, man, I'm thinking about something from work, thinking about something from the game, whatever it is, and she'll just look at me and say, be present. And that just kind of clicks me back into that mode of, what, it's time to be a father, and it's time to just make it all about my kids and forget about work. I can worry about that later. It's all about them. So that attention, that focus. I think also, there's no exact, I think, playbook necessarily for being a parent. You're going to encounter things that you never thought you'd encounter. There's times where you're going to think, man, what am I doing wrong? The kids aren't listening to me. Things are wild and crazy. And yet at the end of the day, I think what I try to do with my kids is be as positive and encouraging as I can and give them as much love as I possibly can. I want our house to be so full of love that, when you do have to lay down the law and you have to be firm with them, that they know it's coming from a good place. You always have their best interests in mind, and they just know how much you love them and care for them and would do anything for them. So, that's my biggest thing. And when things get crazy with those 3 little ones, from what everybody else tells me, is that these moments go by so fast. Next thing you know, you're going to blink and they're going to be in high school, and then they're going to be off to college, and they're going to be out of the house. So at times when things are getting crazy, my wife and I'll just look at each other, and I can see the stress on her face, and I'll say, hey, we're going to miss days like this pretty soon. We're going to miss these moments. So let's just embrace it.
Oh, well, you seem like such an active father and such a great husband, Drew. Your wife sounds like one lucky lady, and you enjoy that little girl coming up in a couple months, okay?
We will. Thank you.
Thank you for taking the time to talk to us, and good luck to you next season. Okay, when we come back, we are headed to our kitchen, how to get some tips on how to make, listen to this, sweet corn tamales, and from one of my favorite restaurants, Mi Cocina style. Y'all, I'm so hungry just thinking about this. Don't go anyway. You'll want this recipe too. We'll be back with this in just a second.